If you are here today, chances is that you have done everything you know and how to do for your child, even therapy sections, but it looks as if what are you actually missing? As a parent of a child with additional needs, I understand the feeling, you know, the desire to do more, the pressure to get everything right. Yes, and sometimes the quiet frustration when progress doesn't seem to match what I am expecting. What if the challenges is not that you are not doing enough, but there's something that is missing? Yes, something so important. It might look as if it's just a piece of something that does not matter to you. This is what we are going to be talking about today. Today, we are going to be looking beyond therapy. Yes, we'll go beyond it. We are looking at a piece that many people are actually struggling with. When I say many people, I mean people that have children or parents that have children with additional needs. That is what we are going to be looking at today. And I'm particularly excited to introduce someone to us that will be helping us to break these things down so that we understand what it means to actually see progress as we navigate through this journey. I'm happy to introduce Dr. Joy Emmanuel, a UK-based optometrist. Yes, she has 2 decades of clinical experience. Beyond that, she is a mother of 2 children on the autism spectrum. She brings her real life experience as a mother, which I can tell you for free that she has been in this journey and she understood what it is to care for children with additional needs. She gives the people she leads, that support of and understanding. And she approaches life the way God actually wants her to parent her children. So I want to say that if you have your notes here, you have done yourself good, because you are going to be learning something that will help you regain peace, focus, and it will strengthen you as a parent. I want to thank Dr. Joy so much for being here with us today. Dr. Joy, over to you.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Thank you, Catherine, my wonderful and amazing sister. Thank you for having me here. I really, really appreciate it. Can I be seen? Can I be heard? Can everyone
Yes,
see and hear me?
we
If you
can
can
see
see
you.
me, you can hear me, just put a thumbs up in the chat area. Wow, you made it here. I'm so, so blessed to have you here. I guess we're all excited. Can we just say where we are joining from, your name, which part of the world you're joining from, and what you're currently struggling with in the area of feeding, in the area of nutrition, in the area of trying to balance therapy and getting all the nutrients into your lovely children or child, depending on um, how many you've got living in your mansions. Can we see the comments? Are you able to see the comments on your end?
Can you see now, ma'am?
Not yet. Okay, yes, I can see. We have Regina. Okay. Okay, Benome from Enugu, you're welcome. Bridget Odunlami joining from Nigeria. Wow, amazing. So let's get your comments coming. What area are you really struggling with? What what do you intend to take away from this class? Hope you have your questions ready. Lovely. So we are gonna go straight in while we're getting your comments coming in. I hope the mic is loud enough for everyone. I'm really
Yeah.
excited about this topic. It's something that it's a topic that is really dear to my heart. And it's before I go ahead, I want to say I am not a I'm not a nutritionist. I am an optometrist, as you heard Catherine say. I'm a doctor of optometry. And I have a lot of lived experiences that I want to share today, both the ones that were personal to me and the ones that are research based. So there's one thing to go buy the books, and there's another thing to go buy what your child needs. So today we're going to be combining both worlds and coming to our desired outcome. And before we go ahead, can you just put in the comment section what you're currently, what therapy your child is currently undergoing? Is it speech therapy? Is it behavioral therapy? Just put in the comment section below. Let's see. And if you have delved into the world of nutrition and additional needs, be it autism, ADHD, Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, if you have ventured into any type of nutrition program, can you please put it in the comment section as well? That would be highly appreciated. Are we still there? Can you see the comments?
Yes, I can see someone is saying speech and physiotherapy from Bridget.
Lovely, lovely.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Any more? Let's see. Yeah, keep the comments coming. Let's know
Yes.
where you're at and how we're going to be moving today. Okay, so we
Yes,
can
someone
see
is saying
Sunday that go. Okay,
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 go
and
on if you can speak.
Bridget is saying speech and physiotherapy, wholesome family solution is saying I'm not able to scroll up for some weird reason.
Really? Okay, I can see here. My
Okay, so
son,
my
my
12 years, but yet to talk and walk. Okay, so are you doing any therapy at the moment with your child? Be it nutritional, behavioral. Okay, while the comments are coming in, we're just going to delve into it. So you will hear, because you've come to rub minds, you've come to hear how you can support your child better. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. And the thing we're doing here is not that it's not that you don't know what you're doing. It's not that we are saying you're doing it the wrong way or the right way. We, in the world of nutrition and neurodiversity, there is no perfect way. There's just the way that works for your child. And if we do not know what the child needs, if we do not know what support the child needs, or what the needs of the child or children are, there's a very high chance that we're going to be supporting them in the way they do not need us to support them. We're going to support them amiss. So getting the right information, getting the right knowledge is what we're all about. So informed, making choices from based on research, based on what has been tried in the past, based on what the doctors have said are the needs of the child, their diagnosis and all the things that contribute to the child's sensory processing makeup, their sensory wiring. Those are the peculiarities we're looking at. And you don't want to start a journey of you don't want to go on a journey with a child without really knowing what they need. If you know what they need, your problem is half solved. Or if you're just doing it because my neighbor is doing it, because this other parent has tried it, we're going to be deceiving ourselves and we're going to be wondering why we're not seeing progress. So we're all about making that big move today. And once again, you are welcome. So with all the therapies most of us are already doing, we are bound to make there's gonna be trial and error, because sometimes the diagnosis and the recommendations, they don't work immediately. So most parents think that, because we've tried this, we've tried that, it is not working. Sometimes we need to give it a good 3 to 6 months before we can start seeing changes. So let's bear that in mind, that I have not come here to give you quick fixes. I've only come here to rub minds, to not tailor the needs of the child, tailor the support we're giving to the needs of the child, to make the sensory wiring and the sensory makeup of our children, so that we can bring out the best in them. We're not going to have a different child. We're going to always have this child that we've got. And the thing is that the child you have is the same child you had before diagnosis. So after diagnosis, the child hasn't changed. You only now know what you're dealing with. So in the process of doing therapy, we should always remember that we are improving, we're aiming to improve the quality of life of this child. And if we know this, it's easier for us to work to be patient about the process, be patient about the progress, and not overwork ourselves and start comparing with other children, other families. And sometimes we make the mistake of comparing child 1 with child 2, which is very, very frustrating, because you hear parents saying that, my first child did not do this, my first child eats everything, but my second child, she's just making life miserable for me. But that's not the situation, because these children we're referring to, they are struggling. They have needs that need to be met, and you are the best person, the best mom, the best dad, the best caregiver to give the support this child needs. So let's sit back and enjoy this journey with myself and Catherine. You are not alone, and you have come to the right place. So today is all about simple and helpful tips that are practical in getting you on board with focusing on nutrition alongside therapy. They cannot be done in isolation. How many of us agree with me? Yeah? Put it in the comment section below. Say I agree if you actually agree with me. Yes, keep it coming. Thank you. Okay, so there's something we need to remember. There is the brain and the body, they work together, and food is that link. Food helps the brain to work. It affects the energy and the focus of not just children, we as humans. Food affects how we behave. So let me give you an instance. So everybody takes coffee to, most people take coffee to keep them awake. Most people take coffee to keep them awake. Some people are addicted to coffee. I'm not talking about that one. This one, some people take coffee to keep them awake, to carry on with their daily task. When I take coffee, I find that I talk more than normal. I'm already a talker. I talk for a living. And if anyone knows me, I like talking. And maybe it's because of my name. I love talking. I would rather, when I get into a space, it's easy for me to strike a conversation. But I notice that when I take coffee, especially in the consulting room, I would just be talking. I would talk. At some point, I'll catch myself, say, Joe, you're talking more than usual. And then I'll remember that, oh, I had coffee. This coffee is meant to keep me awake, but it's doing something else that I did not bargain for. So food affects behavior for neurotypical people. Talk more of neurodiverse people. So when I say neurodiverse people, I'm talking of people with a brain wiring that is different from the usual. So example of neurodiverse conditions, autism, ADHD, and the likes. I know we have people with different, who got children with different diagnoses here on this platform. But the beautiful part is that food brings us all together, which is why we're here today. Nutrition brings us all together. So if we understand that food affects behavior, food affects focus, what's the easiest thing for us to do? Work on nutrition, work on food, work on what we're putting into the system that affects the brain in ways beyond words. There's something we need to remember when we're focusing on nutrition and foiling our body. Keeping it simple is the real deal. Keep it simple. There's no complication around food. Keep it simple. When they say balanced diet, it doesn't have to be complicated, and it has to be child-centered. It has to be person-centered. If someone does not like fish, what other thing can I give the person as protein? Beef, lentil. I can give, there are different sources of protein, different sources of carbohydrate, different sources of other classes of food. Fat, there are healthy options. Thank God, varieties have, we have variety of options to choose from. So we're not limited, we're not restricted. It's only the limitations are mostly in our minds and in our beliefs. But this webinar today is going to be working on those beliefs and bringing us to the awareness of the fact that we have these things around us. We just need to open our eyes and see, get the right information. What does my child need? How often do I need to make this available? Okay, my child's cognition is so and so way. How can I get my child to understand the process? Okay, if the child does not understand the process, how can I just get the food into him or her? Because I want to believe that most of the people on this platform, they have children with delayed speech, reduced cognition, possibly mobility issues. Some of them may be tube fed, some of them may still have to get their food blended, like babies, pureed, and all that. There is a way. There's always a way for every child's child's situation. All you need is the right knowledge, the right support. There has to be a multidisciplinary approach to handling this child. When I say multidisciplinary approach, you may need to work with a nutritionist alongside a physiotherapist, alongside a general practitioner, alongside a pediatrician, alongside the school teachers, wherever this child is getting support from. So we need to bring everybody together and have these conversations. These are my struggles. How do I get my child from point A to point B in terms of nutrition? It's not a journey of isolation. We have to be intentionally intentional. If there's any word like that, we have to be intentional. That's the word. That's the key. Keep it simple. Keep it relatable. Keep it centered, child-centered, and keep it consistent. So when we are talking about the support that we need in getting the brain and the body to connect, there's a whole lot we need to consider. We know the brain needs energy from food, and we know that good nutrition supports learning. We know that it helps children to engage better. But the problem most parents of children who are neurodiverse or who learn differently, who are differently abled, one big problem that we have is picky eating. They struggle to eat new things. They struggle to try new food. So it's one thing for me as a mother, for I as a mother to want to give my child a healthy meal or start a beautiful nutrition that will help their brain and body to connect. It's another thing for that child to respond to my love, to respond to my my intention, to respond to the plan I have put together for that child. So how do we get that child to take it in?
Mm.
That's the big problem. That's where a lot of parents are stuck. Because I want to believe that if you are on this journey, you have heard about supplements, you have heard about nutrition, you have heard about gluten-free diet, you've heard about casein-free diet, but your child won't eat it. Sometimes there are underlying causes that will make children not want to eat it. Some children, the smell of the food is offensive. To you, it's a lovely aroma. You want to just eat it. I just have all of it. But to them, their sensory processing issues will not even let them look at the food. Some children will not eat certain colors of food. Some children will not perceive or sit around. Okay, I will give an example. Before now, my daughter, she's 7 years old now. We started this journey her diagnosis was when she was 3 years and 9 months old. And then I would notice that if you put a food that she doesn't like, she would either eat it and throw up, or she would not even open her mouth to eat it at all. She would smell the food before she agrees to taste the food. You know, at some point, I would, then earlier in the journey, it was really frustrating. But when I delve more into sensory processing issues and how it can affect them trying new food, it helped me to be more empathic. It helped me to be more empathetic towards her, and it made me to re-strategize. So some of those strategies are what I'll be sharing with you today. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is don't think you're not doing enough. Because a lot of parents, they have this guilt, or if I did not do this during pregnancy, I probably won't be here, and my child won't do this. When we get into that space, it just gets messy. We just go down that rabbit hole that it's a never end it's a bottomless pit. It's not a good place to be. The situation is not your fault. You have no control over the child you gave birth to. Life happens. And the earlier we start to see it as an opportunity for us to recreate the narrative, an opportunity for us to impact in this destiny in front of us, this child in front of us, the better. The earlier we start seeing it as a privilege to serve, the better it is for your mindset, your mind frame. It's going to go a long way in how much success, how much progress you achieve. So before we get to the point where we know what my child will take and what my child will not take, there's need to know, is my child lactose intolerant? Is my child, do they have celiac? Do they have those conditions that will make them not accept certain food? How would you find out? You have to do you have to go to some of the professionals I mentioned. Sometimes you have to work with a nutritionist to find this out. Sometimes your GP, depending on your environment. Some people have to work with naturopaths, to get this information. But there are certain tests that must be done for us to, there are certain tests that have to be done for us to know what exactly is my child going through. What kind of support does my child need? If I give my child full cream milk, whole milk, will the child throw up? Can the child tolerate it? Can the child digest it? Do I need to use raw milk? Do I need to use plant-based milk? Do I need to use almond milk? Is my child allergic to peanuts? Am I allowed to use peanut butter on this and that? You need to know if your child has any allergy or food sensitivity or food intolerance. They're all different things, and you can't find out by guessing. That's why I was telling you about finding out the multidisciplinary team available to support your child. Whichever country you are, they are there. And thank God for COVID, a lot of services are now being provided in the online space. So you have no excuse. If you have the determination to support if we have, let me not say you because I'm a mom, we are on this journey together. If we have the desire to support our children, we definitely have the guts, we have the resources to look for where the help is. Gone are those days where we say, oh, I cannot travel to America, I cannot travel to UK, I cannot travel to Dubai. They are everywhere in the online space. Why? This has become a big issue. It has become a real problem real people are facing. So the solutions are coming up. The audience is there. The professionals are there. If they can't do, obviously they can't do tests online. There are labs nearby that you can be directed to. Most of these services, to be honest, they are not free. They are not they're not funded by the government. Most of them may have to be funded by the parents. That's why it's very, very important to consider your financial state in this process. So you're not going to let the finances stop you. You're going to start from where you are and gradually build it up to where you want to be. Say, for instance, you want to do those tests that we talked about, and they say is £200. Okay, you can plan towards it, but while you're planning towards it, what can I be doing while I'm waiting and putting the resources together? What can I be doing while I'm putting the money together? You can do a lot. You can you can get information about supporting them in supporting their sensory needs and preparing them for when they're going to do the test. You're not going to wait till you have the money. You're going to start from somewhere. You're going to start with what's the words, giving them, sensitizing their olfactory system. You're going to start getting them to explore food. You're going to start letting them see you eat those healthy food. You're going to start taking them shopping, and there's so many things you can do with children to get them to be interested in the nutrition plan you have in mind. There's something to have it in your mind, and it's another thing to implement it. So this is another level. Having it in your mind, you're being a mom, you're being a dad, you're being an intentional parent. But how do I translate my intention to reality? So we have to, number one, put a plan down, work with the professionals, start implementing from where you are. Very important and very key. And the key is that keeping it simple is the key, is the real deal. Because you don't want to be frustrated. You want to take it slow. Start from where you are, build it up, and watch the progress. It's more fulfilling that way, if you ask me, and that has worked for me. I'll give you some examples at some point. So we talked about most children are picky eaters, and we need to support them the way they are, find out what their sensory issues are and what limited food choices they have, discuss it with the professionals you're working with, look for varieties around around those limited options and make healthier options instead. and build it from there. Pardon me. One way to avoid mealtime stress is, not insisting that they eat what you have brought. Sometimes you have to keep introducing it alongside that one they will eat until they finally would taste it. Sometimes you have to, like, take for instance, my daughter. I'm going to be using my daughter a lot because she's the main picky eater in my house. She would eat veg in an omelette, but she won't eat it in isolation, or she won't eat it with rice or noodles or spaghetti. She won't. So if I insist that she must eat the veg with spaghetti or with rice, I'll be deceiving myself, because in her brain she prefers it only with eggs, or making it as an omelette. So we're going to start from where she is. We're going to start from where she is letting me put in the veg, while we walk it towards the other options. My children, they don't like smoothie. When I make smoothie, I'm on my own, so I've accepted. But guess what? When I get them to make the smoothie with me, they attempt to taste it. That's progress. So when we're doing mealtime, anything that will make it as stressless as possible, or make it as make us more united as a family, that's what we want to focus on. And you're not alone. Picky eating is very common, but it's just how to go around it. And there's something I want to point out. Picky eating is not bad behavior. So no child should ever be spanked or smacked for refusing food. And there's nothing like, do you know how much I spent on this food? Do you know that some people in so and so country, they don't have food to eat, and making it a blame game, or making it, trying to guilt trip them, making them feel, for crying out loud, these children are struggling. The aroma of the food is putting them off. The texture of the food is putting them off. Some of them have difficulty in swallowing certain textures. But if we don't know these things, how are we going to support them? It's going to be almost impossible. So we need to know that picky eating is not bad behavior. It's a need, it's a sensory need that needs attention. So our children are banking on us to understand their plight. They're banking on us to show empathy. When they say charity begins at home, this is it. This is it. We can't show empathy to someone else, and then we get to our children, we're like, why you, was there this word we use, you're trying me. If you don't eat that food, if you don't eat that food, you will know. I stood for how many hours cooking that food. And there are some parents that can do that because their child can understand them to some extent. What about the one that is speech delayed, significantly speech delayed? What about the one that cannot even raise their neck or even feed themselves? So you get some parents forcing the food down their throat. You see the child trying to take their face off, and they're still insisting. That's abuse. That is abuse, pop and plain. I'm not even going to quote it. It's abuse. I'm going to give you an example. Say, for instance, you went to a restaurant and they insist that you must eat amala and gbegiri when you know you want to eat fried rice and chicken, and they start to shove it into your mouth. You're gonna like, hang on a minute. I don't want that food. Unfortunately, our children most times are not able to say it. They can say it with behavior, they can throw, they can go on the floor, they can kick off, but that's their own way of saying, I don't want it. I want something else. And it's okay. Try again next week. Try again the next day. Change the color, change the presentation, change their cutlery, change the plates, change the environment, change the table mat. Put something on the background, like it could be a soft music that they like. It could be something to give them a more relaxed environment, something to build their expectation to the point where they want to try something. So your child is not being difficult. They're not trying your patience. They're just struggling, and they're banking on us to help them. as I said, let's if we were doing it before, today is our repentance day. No more
Mm-hmm.
forcing them to eat. They are not gonna die. Trust me. There was a time my daughter went through a phase of if she doesn't want the food, she would rather starve. So it I used to get bothered about it, but at some point I got a strategy to let her have her way of not eating it and then offering her the next meal or the next snack. Does that make sense? Yeah, so instead of saying, okay, you don't want to eat this food, and I give her an alternative immediately, I wouldn't do that. After before, once she says she doesn't want it, I'll give her an alternative immediately. But when I learned the right way to do it, I let her miss that one to know that okay, you've missed this one, it's fine. We'll try again next time. And she will go start doing her stuff. She will go start playing and doing. It means a child can fast for an afternoon. When it's snack time, you give them their snack. If your children still go through snacks, and if when they have their snack in the evening, you probably give them something they like. So as much as possible, understand the dynamics that works for your child and how they communicate with you. So my daughter is currently um, she's gradually improving her conversational skills, and it's really amazing to see how she's coming up. But a lot has gone into her her nutrition. A lot has gone into working with professionals to get her where she is. A lot has gone into her speech therapy, and it's been amazing seeing the progress. It's been a slow but steady progress. But guess what? Every parent, every parent's morning is different. So your morning starts the day you wake up. So your morning is starting now if you're just getting this information, and it's okay. It's okay. Okay. Starting from where you are is key.
Mm.
So when she would go and starve like that, I'm like, it's fine, it's fine. I stopped worrying about her eating or not eating. The day I learned that the stomach of a child is the size of their fist, once they eat 2 tablespoons, I'm fine. Once they eat, okay, the size of their hands. Once they eat the food that is the size of the hand, I'm fine. Why? Because that's what their body needs. And I started using that approach on myself, and I found out that I was losing weight nicely without stresslessly. So most of the food we want our children to eat, they don't even need that much,
True.
honestly. So we need to work on
True.
that and celebrate small steps.
Mm.
If they take 1 spoon today, oh, praise them. Well done. You did it. Give them a high five. Give them a hug. Sing to them. Dance. I dance silly dances a lot. Can I still be heard?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I look frozen on my screen. Okay. Yeah, so I dance a lot, silly dances a lot in my house. My children laugh at me a lot because I like to be silly to let them know that it's fine, it's okay to be silly, especially when they've done something that would not normally be a big deal. So let's be conscious of how we respond to baby steps, how we respond to small steps, and give it a big celebration that will reinforce that positive behavior. It will reinforce the fact that, oh, mommy is happy when I do this. Mommy is happy when I try new food. I'm going to try it again because I like to see mommy dance that dance, or I like to get a high five. It's positive reinforcement, and that will also reinforce your patience, because you'll be like, oh, my effort is working and things like that. I hope we're getting one or two things so far. Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. So there has to be practical daily support.
Mm.
Practical daily support. How do we implement this? We need to carry everybody in the house together on this journey. So if you have more than one child and you have more than one adult in the house. You want to carry everybody along. You want to emphasize the need for them to be as patient as you, because you probably will not be the only one feeding that child. So you want to be sure that when you're not around, nobody is slapping the back of the head of the child to say, why are you not eating? Do you think I'm here to waste my time and things like that? You want to be sure that they're on the same page with you. You want to be intentional, possibly get everyone to eat the same thing, which is almost impossible in a neurodiverse household. It is possible in the long run, but in the beginning stages, it may not be possible because everyone may have different needs. Say if there's a child with lactose intolerance, I'm not going to insist that they eat everything the other child is eating who is not lactose intolerant. Or if the child is celiac, I'm not going to insist that they eat this sort of things. But there are some nutrition plan that the whole family can go along with. So if you want to go on such a journey, you have to work with a professional to go on such journey. If not, you could make a mess of the whole thing, especially if you do not have the bandwidth to cook too many different dishes and stuff like that. Also, if you have power as an issue in your country, you want to think of, how am I going to be storing this food? Am I going to be cooking every day? Because this child A, child B, child C, they have different needs. So you would need to work with a professional to help you sync everybody together. One, so that your life will be easier, you will not be frustrated. And two, so that everybody will be working as a team. And we're going to be achieving baby steps, making progress, and going on this nutrition journey together. So, what are we trying to achieve? We want therapy to work as much as we want nutrition to work. We want the brain and the body to connect. Why do you think a lot of people in the neurodiverse community, a lot of them are not potty trained at the age where they need to be potty trained? Why is that happening? The brain is not telling the bladder, I need to wee. The brain is not telling the large intestine that food needs to be pushed out, poo needs to be pushed out. The brain is not communicating. And my daughter had this issue. When I was meant to potty train my daughter, I tried at 18 months because they said, okay, my son is older than my daughter by 2.5 years almost. When I did my son's potty training, it was between 3 and 4 that we finally succeeded. But I started at 22 months and we finally got it. When it got to my daughter's time, my daughter would not sit on a potty. She wanted to go straight to the toilet. That was odd. From having a son who did the process of going on the potty and then going to the toilet and follow the transitioning. My daughter wasn't having any of that. She wanted to go straight to the toilet. And in my head, I've heard people say, oh, girls are easily potty trained than boys, da, 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 da. I'm like, okay, my daughter is going to be potty trained. So from 18 months, 12 to 18 months, I started trying on potty training. She would have none of it. So when we would try the process, I'll give her a break. We'll try again 6 months after. And then she's still not having it. We'll try again 6 months after. Still not having it. When it was almost time for her to get to primary school, I was like, no. This we have to get this sorted. Then I heard about probiotics. If you know about probiotics, just put it in the chat. If you heard about prebiotics and probiotics, put it in the chat. And if you're trying anyone at the moment, please put it in the chat. I was amazed at the transformation when we started probiotics. Probiotics helps the brain connects to the guts. The guts, the intestine, and everything that helps the food to be distributed to the bodies, right? The different parts of the body. It was like, that was the year she got potty training. The year before that, I started a gluten-free and casein-free diet with both of them. Remember, my son didn't, I felt my son didn't need it because then he wasn't diagnosed. It was just my daughter that was diagnosed. So I was like, okay, for me not to be overworked and frustrated, I'm just going to get both of them to eat the same thing. And that was what I did. gluten-free, casein-free. It was a struggle. Don't get me wrong. It was a struggle, but we got there in the end. We got there in the end. I started with adding honey to the milk, so organic honey or natural honey, to give it some sweetness a bit, because it tastes different from whole milk that they were used to. So it was a big struggle. But guess what? We got there in the end. The point I'm trying to make is that when her brain started connecting to her body, she got potty training. Her cognition started to improve. Initially, when we started the process, she would not respond to her name. Call her name as many times as you want. She won't respond to you. So they had to refer us for hearing tests, thinking that, oh, maybe your daughter is deaf. I said, my daughter is not deaf. I know. When you're playing something from downstairs, she's upstairs, she's running downstairs to come and watch. So I said, my daughter is not deaf. But I accepted the process. They screened her. They did test 1. It was not reliable. They did test 2, test 3. At some point, they got tired. I was like, I told you my daughter is not deaf. They said, oh, the results were not consistent. But even school and nursery, they also confirmed that she can hear. At home, she can hear. So we forgot about it. So when we got the probiotics and the prebiotics and the gluten-free and casein-free diet going, there was a big transformation in her cognition level. There was a big transformation in the way she was responding to her environment. So she could now feel her body ready to go. So there's a lot that can happen when the right thing goes into the body and gets the brain to communicate with the body. There's a lot we can achieve. And if we focus on this simple thing, we're going to achieve a lot. Our children will achieve a lot. And it's okay sometimes to miss a day or two. It's okay sometimes to fall short. That's why we're humans. The key is keep the routine simple, be consistent, get help from whoever your support system is. It could be your church members, it could be your sisters, your brother, your neighbors. I'm going to pause here and emphasize on something. On this journey, this neurodiversity journey, you cannot do it on your own. Never. It is not possible. It is impossible and it cannot happen. They say it's impossible. You cannot do it on your own. You're going to break. And you're going to break fast, really fast. So you need to look for where that support system is. I had to join a parent support group headed by Reverend Victoria Lawrence. If anyone knows her, she is an amazing lady. My university classmates, then she introduced me to the group. She doesn't live in the UK, but she introduced me to the group. God bless Dio and Dr. Dio. And when I joined the group, I was like, she's a reverend minister. That one humbled me. I was like, okay, if it is faith we're talking about, this woman has got it. If it is anointing, she has got it. If it is knowledge, she has got it. She's well read. She is a prominent person. I was like, okay, so what is now my own problem? I had to humble myself to learn from her stories, learn from her experiences, learn from the things other parents were saying in the community. That was when I knew. I joined the community because of my son, mind you, not even because of my daughter. That was when, and I started seeing things. When people would say this, I'm like, my daughter is doing this. So in the beginning of my journey with my daughter, I was thinking, oh, she's just being slow, she's just being delayed. And when the professionals were pointing things out, I was busy saying, oh, she'll be fine. Why was I saying that? Because my son was speech delayed and he picked up in his reception year. Reception year is the year before primary 1. And he picked up his speech, so we didn't have to do speech therapy for him. So when my daughter came, I was following that trend. I was like, oh, she'll be fine, she'll be fine. When I joined the parent support group, my orientation changed. I learned that I must not treat child A the way I must not treat child B the way I'm treating the way I treated child A. There are two different destinies, two different needs, two different specialist process, specialist routes have to be taken. I had to humble myself to learn. I had to ask questions. I had to spend money. I am still spending money. What am I spending the money to do? Buying
Mm,
resources that they need for the nutrition, learning, unlearning, relearning, debunking the things I thought I knew, and
mm,
putting this knowledge into good use. Being patient with myself as well. We can't do this alone. And if you're not in a parent support group, I am sorry, you are missing. You're you're going to burn out quickly, to be honest. And I don't pray that for any parent. And you're being in the parent support group opened me up to other support in my area. So the parent support group I joined is an international one.
mm.
It was from that group I learned that there must be support group in your area. I had to start looking for them. Mind you, I was working full time. I had to start looking for them. I start getting help, start asking questions. And today the story is different. Now my
Wow.
story is helping other parents. That's what we do in
Wow.
Nurture a Child with Joy. I've had to set up a platform where I can also support parents and support other people around me, because it's the journey is already isolated, so you don't want to make it more isolating. I That's why I took my time to point this out. If you are not in a parent support group, you need to be in one. And that's why Coach Catherine is here talking about it. She has a group also for parents with children with cerebral palsy. That journey
Wow.
is isolating. The name
Mm,
alone, some people don't know what it is. They have to go and check dictionary. Meanwhile, some people are living
mm.
with it every day. And
Correct.
some people are still locking their neurodiverse children at home because of the stigma. It's abuse. It is abuse. 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 It's been going on for ages. Our generation is not unique to it, but it's just gotten worse. It's just
Mm,
gotten worse
true.
because the right support is not in place. The stigma is horrible. But I made up my mind. If I cannot bring my daughter to your invitation, I'd rather not come, especially if I don't have childcare. If I cannot bring my children, if you're embarrassed by what they're gonna do, then don't invite me, because they come first. They come first. But some parents want to be in denial about the season they're in, about the needs their children have. They don't even want to mention their children among the child that is the neurodiverse child among their children.
True.
They don't even want to take pictures with them. They don't want to go to the playground with them. They don't want to go for a walk with them. That's abuse. God handed these children to us, trusting us to make a difference in their lives. Come on now. When I take my children to the park and people that sometimes when they were younger, now their confidence, they when they go, they take over. Be, some years back, when I'll take my kids to the park, some people will look at them and just excuse themselves and just I'm like you can take a walk for all I care. This is a public space and we all are gonna enjoy it. So because of
Exactly.
this situation, I stopped waiting for invitation from friends or people I expect to invite us to their houses. One, because they may not understand the need the children have, and they may not understand when the steaming happens, when the food from the kitchen is causing chaos in their brain. They may not understand that the space is just too small for them to explore. They may not understand a lot of things. So I started taking my children to public places where they can play with other children, whether they know them or not. So example of such place is the playground, soft play areas, swimming pool. and things like that. So get them to go out with you until you accept your children. You don't expect the public to accept them. So we want to put that into consideration as we go on this journey. So let's go back to our nutrition issue. As I begin to round up, I want us to bear in mind that staying calm is key. Not getting frustrated when you're trying these options, these nutritional plans, no forcing, and keep the meals predictable. How do we mean predictable? Get a menu. On Monday, we're going to try this. On Tuesday, we're going to try this. Keep it as simple as possible. It could be only dinner we're starting with, keeping breakfast and lunch the same. It could be we're going to be working on lunch for this week, see how we get on with the changes, and then move on. Use pictures if possible, and see how they respond to these baby steps. Another key thing we should remember: sustainable progress is key. So do not try to do everything at once. Take small steps that will become the big change that we desire over time. And progress should not exhaust you. It should refresh you, it should re-energize you, it should make you feel, oh, I'm on the right track. It's overwhelming. It can be overwhelming sometimes. That's why you have that support group to fall back on. I have people I call to cry to. Crying is therapeutic. It's okay. It's okay not to be okay. Do you get? It's okay. You're not a machine. You are made in the image and likeness of God. And even God rested. Even Jesus wept. So who are we? So let's emphasize on sustainability over perfection. There's no perfect way to go about this thing. There's only a sustainable way, and that is starting slow, staying calm, and working the progress up gradually as we go. This part, the concluding part of my message to you, is that you matter. You matter. You are the main. You know, when you're watching a movie, the key actor, the key actress, you are that main person. Without you, the movie cannot happen. So we need to make sure you are well in your mind, in your spirit, in your body. You want to be put together. Your health affects your child. Your countenance affects your child. Your emotional intelligence affects your child. And if you undermine the place of your wellness, your health on this journey, it's going to be really frustrating. It's going to be destructive to the process. And you're going to wonder why you're not making as much progress as you expect. So take care of yourself. Give yourself a treat. Go on solo dates. It could just be getting coffee. It could be walking down your street and taking fresh air. Sometimes it could be taking a bath and giving yourself moisturizing your skin. It could be getting yourself to have facials. You can do it at home. There are a lot of DIY things you can do for your skin, for your face, for your body in general. There's so many things. It can be as simple as making sure you brush your teeth and smell good. Have a good clean up and dress up. You don't have to be going anywhere to dress up. I dress up in my house. I am dignity. I'm raising dignitaries. So I dress up as if I'm going to work on the days when I'm not working. So what am I trying to say? You matter. Anything that improves your mental health, do it, because it will eventually translate into what we're doing for our children. When we're doing this thing, there's something I came up with. You can do weekly detox, or you can do it twice a week, depending on how much time you have to give yourself self-care. So once a week, you can start with that and increase it to twice a week. So there's this combination, in you add a quarter cup of berries, half inch of ginger, 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric, one celery stalk, blend it with 200 mils of water. Just help you detox. Because most
Wow.
times when we are with our children, there's this one high alert. So you want to
Mm.
detox your system and do it twice a week if you can, but minimum once a week. Then the supplements that you must have to keep your mood, to keep your body going. You want to also keep your immune system going. Magnesium, very important. Vitamin D and vitamin K. Omega 3, fatty omega 3 capsules, depending on what you prefer, and B complex. Those four, they're the ones that I have more that I take, but you can start with those ones. They are going to help. They're going to help with your mood. They're going to help with your the fact that you even took time to take those supplements. They're going to make you feel okay. I've done something for myself today. I've had these supplements. I've had a shower. I've dressed up. I've cleaned up. And it's just going to give you a boost in your spirit to carry on with the day. And your children are going to feel that positive energy. The
Wow.
fact that nutrition supports therapy cannot be overemphasized. But we need
Mm.
you. We need mommies and daddies. We need the parents. We need the caregivers to be in their best state to be able to deliver this. Because without you, without me, our children are going to be missing out on a lot of things that they should be gaining to get them to that place, that space where they need to thrive and be better, and achieve their purpose. Because to be honest, not every child is going to be walking the four walls of the university. Not every child is going to go to college and come out with a certificate or a college degree. The earlier we know the strengths of our child, of our the better. It helps us manage our expectation. So what are we focusing on? Start from where you are. I am not
Mm.
God, you're not God. But what we know is that God is a God of process. So start from where you are and gradually build it up. You are more than enough. You are the best parent your child needs, and you are not being paid for the evil you've done. God is not repaying you by giving you that child that you have, because there are a lot of things going around making
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
parents feel
Feel
condemned.
guilty.
You are
Mm-hmm.
not It's not your fault that you have the child you've got. It's destiny God has put in your hand to mold, and how you go about it will go a long way. And I'm going to end with this encouragement. You matter, and we're here. We're rooting for you. If you need to cry on
Wow.
our shoulders, we're here. And
Yeah.
starting small is key. Thank you very
Oh,
much.
wow.
I'd like to have questions
Wow.
if you have any.
Yeah, wow, 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 wow. Thank you so much, Dr. Joy. Thank you for that powerful and eye-opening section. Yes, I'm sure, and you will agree with me that this is one of those conversations that really makes us to pause and we begin to think, ha, there is more to my child's progress than I realize. Yes, there is. You know, we have talked about nutrition, we have talked about how it impacts our children's development, their behavior, and the overall well being of these children. But here's something I want you to really think about. Even when you begin to apply all of this, many parents still find themselves overwhelmed. They find themselves being inconsistent and exhausted. So, this is not because they don't care or they don't want to do what they want to do. Not because they are not even trying their best. We've said a lot. How you could position yourself, how you could make everybody at home come into the way you feed your child so that even when you are not there, they should be able to help out. We've talked about the kind of food that you can give to your children. We talk about different kind of food. So, some of all these children, they can have allergies, which we need to actually check with um our physicians or our medical professionals to actually put us in a place, because sometimes these children, they tend not to take a particular food from you because of what is happening in their system. We've said a lot, and I want you to, I believe you will agree with me that there's so much to learn, and there's this missing link that we talk about. We have already seen it, that we need to be consistent in whatever we are doing, and we don't need to abuse our children by forcing them to take a particular meal. Yes, we need to have meal plans. Even when we are introducing new food, we need to be patient with these children. There's a part of this journey that most parents often ignored. Yes, you see, we tend sometimes to feel as if, oh, it's a lot for me to actually parent my child in a way that I begin to see progress in terms of nutrition. Sometimes we talk about the food, I don't have money. The things you have already in your house, you can start using them as far as your child does not have allergy. Yes, you see, because of all these things that I've seen over the years, even as I parent my child, even as I help other parents, I have decided that there should be an understanding of nutrition and therapy. So that is why I came up with Beyond Therapy, the missing link between nutrition and your child. It is not enough for you to begin to give your child certain food that your child does not need. Some people will tell you, I will have to put enough milk in my child's, maybe for example, whether Cerelac or Golden More, because they've heard that, oh, there's this particular thing that milk gives to the body. Your child might be intolerant to it, might be lactose intolerant. So what should you now do? Are you not going to be doing that at a particular every time that you want to feed your child, and you come up with, my child is not even gaining weight? These are the things that we really need to understand. And this is where the real transformation happens. When you submit yourself to a place, she was talking about support group that you need to be. I've seen people, even in this group, they don't talk. I don't know whether it is because we are still in that place of denial, because so many people have come out and we are talking about how you need to accept your child's condition, because this is a child you already have, not the one you begin to still sit down, begin to wish, how wish my child is this, how wish my child is that. The child is already there. Most of us, we are mentally drained because we are expecting so much from these children. We want our children to gain weight, but we are not doing it the right way. We want our children to look good, but we don't know how to actually place all these things. Why? Because we are still in that place of, I don't want to learn. I want everything to just happen like magic. It doesn't work like that, and that is the truth. The parents that I work with, I tell them the truth. Yes, we are fearful and wonderfully made, created by God. Same also our children. But God has placed people that have been able to leave that place of pain. They are now seeing clearly. These are the things we need to do that will help us to get value, that will help us to bridge that gap. Even when we go for therapy, we begin to see results. I want to assure you, because in the Thrive Beyond Cerebral Palsy Academy, we take people, parents, on a journey where they begin to see themselves. Even if they've lost their identity, they will begin to regain it. If they've lost confidence in this parenting journey, they will begin to regain it. So, I want to let you know that what you have just said to us today, Dr. Joy, is an eye opener. We are very much aware that there's a thin line, there's a missing link between nutrition and our child's progress. This cannot be overemphasized. Because you know why? We tend to do therapy as if it's only physiotherapy that matters. There are other things. If your child is not feeding well,
I can't I see.
no energy, then how could even the physiotherapy that you are doing, how will it now begin to have effects on your child? We need to submit ourselves to a place where we learn. We learn nothing but the truth. I want to thank you very much, Dr. Joy, for being here tonight. I'll bring her back in case you have questions so that you can ask. And just to let us know that on the 17th of this month, we are going to be having a free section, yes, that goes in line with what we've just heard. You are aware now. Now, from knowledge to action, we are going to be showing you a practical feeding and progress plan that your child needs. And this is something that you don't want to miss. How you can feed your child confidently. Whether your child cannot feed itself, there are ways. Whether your child is using a peg tube, whether it's rig that your child is using, whether you are the one feeding your child yourself, there is a way. Because your child needs this nutrition for your child to be healthy, for your child to move from the place where your child is now to another stage. We are going to be showing you strategies that you can put in place. Strategies that you can put in place that will really help you. And we are going to show you how progress can be measured in terms of balancing nutrition and therapy. So watch out as we bring out these resources for you to actually use for yourself. I'm trying to see if we have questions here so that you can answer and we know where we are for the
Have
day.
I been
It's
have I been frozen all this while?
yeah, it looks like you were frozen sometimes, but we were hearing you, ma.
Oh dear. I just had to
Yes,
go out and come back in,
yes, I have
and
to bring
then
you
I
back
can see
on
them.
the stage. Yeah, somebody is asking, so I will just quickly answer. We are talking. Somebody is asking, how can I join this support group? Yes, we have a Try Beyond Cerebral Palsy Hub. It's a WhatsApp group where you can actually join. Sometimes we have paid classes, we have free trainings that are very effective if actually you want to work closely with your child. You can also join groups that are maybe in your church. You can ask where they tend to give you what is the true situation on how to parent children with additional needs. So you should be careful because there are some groups that they will say, oh, this is an NGO, and you just go there, and what they are doing there is not something that will even help your child. No one is guiding you. You need to be in a space, and the Try Beyond Cerebral Palsy Hub is a place that you want to be. If you're in a group, ask questions. Don't just keep mute. Ask questions, bring out your issues, because no one is coming to it is a very confidential space. No one is coming to say, oh, why is your child like this? Because everybody is trying to help each other. You see people coming out and say, oh, my child wasn't being able to have neck control, or my child has not been gaining weight, but now I believe this is what and what has helped my child. So it's Bene here that asked about that. You can I will drop my phone number here now so that when you chat me up, I can add you to the group if you are not in the group already. Because when we talk about support group, some people just think, oh, okay, yes, it's there now in the chat box. Then someone is asking, my daughter has delayed speech, and so I thought, can you see the question, ma?
Not yet. Let me see. No, it's not showing on my end for some weird reason. Are you able to highlight it on the screen?
I want to I want to check. Yeah, but it's already on the.
Okay. Yes, I'm not able to control the chat. It's just okay.
Okay, so if I'm able to lay my okay, somebody is
If you
asking.
read the
Maybe you
question,
could.
it's fine. You can read it
Yes, he
out,
said.
please.
Yeah, she said
Oh, it says not a question.
it's not a question anyway.
It's just a
Okay,
comment.
don't.
So my daughter was speech delayed, and so I thought it was that. It was
As
that
well.
what?
Okay, maybe when you were talking about something that is related to uh, your child to having speech delay and you were comparing it with your son.
Okay,
Maybe
okay,
that was.
okay, okay.
I think if
Yes,
I'm
I
not
think
wrong.
so. I think so.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm. Now, thank you for sharing that, Rosemary Umbanefo. I hope I pronounced
Yeah.
that name well.
Mm. Yeah.
Okay, if there are no more questions, I'm going to excuse myself. Yeah, you can
I
reach
think we
me.
had a question. Yeah, we had a question. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, she said that's correct. I can see the live comments now.
Okay.
Just adding to what the speaker said at the time. Okay.
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 Yeah. That,
Fine.
that
Thank
that's
you,
great.
Rosemary. Lovely. So you can I actually made a freebie for parents, and
Yeah.
that's talking about how we can, like everything we've talked about today, kind of summarizing it, how we can get our children to be involved in the process, to try new
Mm.
food, especially for picky eaters. The major way that has worked for me is food exploration, getting my children to play with food. So I got them their own chopping boards, their own knives, their own space, very colorful and attractive. So I get them to chop. I go to the town center market and buy those organic vegetables that they can, when they chop
Sure.
it up, I would put it in the freezer. Some of them I will eat it and show them how it's used and things like that. And when they see the process, they join in the process. It's easier for me to get them to taste it or smell it or even, you know, do some
Yeah.
drama around it. So
What you are just saying is modeling. When you
yes,
model to them, they see it. Yes, intentionality in this journey matters a lot. Matters a
cutting
lot.
it into
Sometimes,
different
yeah,
shapes.
sometimes we feel that these children are not. They are not. They can't respond. They don't even understand their environment. That is
Yep,
a big lie from the pit of hell.
yep.
I found that, yes, with my daughter. There were things I was doing that God just gave me that instinct and said, start doing this thing early. My daughter, she's 16 and she has started seeing her monthly flow. If I had not started teaching her how to use pad, or I was just doing it, I was just showing her. Anytime I'm doing it for myself, I'll make sure she's there. I communicate with her, whether she's understanding me, whether she's not. I just keep telling her. And I just bless God today that she's not this person that just mess herself up with. You understand what I mean? Outside and all that, she's cautious. She will just she's not non-verbal, but at least she can pronounce some, make some signs and all that. She's able to relate with me now and say, this is what I want. This is what is happening. And because I'm very close to my daughter, I understand how her system is, or how she's
Mm-hmm.
being wired. I
Mm-hmm.
begin to parent her in that her own form, because you said something like that each child is unique. You said something like, so we need to know the peculiarity of our children, even when it comes to nutrition. Because I've seen many people, they go the way of what other people are doing. Mind you, what worked for every one of us, we are looking at a time where our children will be able to become independent. That is the goal.
Mm-hmm.
Where they could be able to do something by themselves. There is a way that you need to
Yep.
follow. That is why you see the support group you are talking about, a healthy space where nothing but the truth, you begin to learn. And the truth I tell parents is that nobody is coming to do this work for you. You will do it. If you run from it now, when your
The
child is
meat is in
14,
front.
when your child is 14, 15, 16, you will now be saying, how
I
I
wish
wish. I've seen children, yes,
I.
seen children that would have progressed more than the way they are right now. I would just say it's lack of knowledge. But I would
Yeah.
say extend grace to yourself and start now, so that the
Mm-hmm.
little you can do, because for cerebral palsy, the damage has been done already.
Mm-hmm.
It is now what you can put together to manage that situation that will actually help you. So many researches are coming out now how the brain can be rewired. And the
Yep.
techniques that they are using is about consistency, about modeling, about repetition, about consistency. And that is what we teach in Thrive Beyond Cerebral Palsy Academy.
Mm-hmm.
We give you tools that you work with. The last boot camp that we did, call people to register. It looks as if, what am I going there to learn? And I bet you the people that came, up till now, as I speak to you, oh, this is the stage I am now. I never knew like this. But if you don't stay consistent on it, or you don't carry yourself into a place where they will keep checking on you, there's a possibility that you will lag back,
Mm-hmm.
because we are humans.
Yep.
Some of us that have come out just like you have your community, I have my community, that will begin to nurture people. It's not that we are not finding our own hard times, because we have seen it that we need to impart, we need more people to actually come to the knowledge of, we need more people to actually come to the knowledge of, yes, this child that God has given to me, I need to parent this child the way this child is. I want to thank you again, Dr. Joy, for joining us tonight. Thank you for this great section. And I'm particularly excited. I'm grateful for your time, for this that
Same
you have
here.
done this evening. I just want to say thank you very much and God bless you. If
You're
there's no any
welcome.
other question, yeah, if there's no any other question, this is where we'll call it a day for today, and hope to see you. Keep checking on our platform, the Thrive Beyond Cerebral Palsy Academy. We have series of our thriving moments is always on Mondays, where we bring speakers. Sometimes I teach myself, and we give you value. The issue is, will you be there? Your data, what are you using your data for? Are you sharing for other parents to hear? Are you sharing for other parents to see that there's a place where you can actually learn and become that parent that your child needs at every point in time? Thank you very much, and
You're welcome.
see you some other time.
Yeah. Thank
Until
you,
I come your way
everyone.
again. Bye.
Take care.
Take care.